You are welcome to Nana's Tarot and Oracles. I am the Nana, and Nana loves you. You have a home here for comfort and contemplation, hope and inspiration, rest, renewal, and relaxation. These readings will empower you to use your intuition to help you towards a better life. All readings are dedicated to truth and light, but cannot take the place of professional services of any kind. Readings are general for the collective, and if they do not sound right for you, then they may not be for you today. Please try again another day. If you like what you're hearing, please select the like button below and subscribe with all notifications. It's free. Share with your friends or family. If you have a question or a comment, I will try to answer it below. You are important to Nana, and Nana is always grateful to see you again. Today is February the 6th, 2026, and I am called to do another reading today. I did one 2 days ago. It was interesting because one of the cards that we got was the Knight of Cups, and I was noting, as I always do when I see this card, the wings of Mercury on his helmet and heels. Mercury, of course, being the winged messenger. Many times when I do readings, I don't always intuit the full picture of why I have received cards, but I believe that that card was there to alert me to what I read in Astrology by Lauren in a newsletter I received from her on Thursdays, where she points out that on today, Mercury transits into Pisces, where it will remain for several months, at least 2 months. Mercury is the ruling planet of Gemini and Virgo, and Mercury is a planet of communication and intellect, and so it is important to remember that, because Mercury in Pisces is in a position to encourage reflection, which it certainly has been a prolonged period of time for reflection now, and we are about to have some very turbulent transits. But perhaps we need to consider that we may need to have periods of contemplation and reflection regarding those transits just as well. In any event, I found the synchronicity interesting and thought you might too. Let's begin with a card from the Inner Temple Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. All cards are pre-shuffled. Well, I've just dropped a bunch of cards. Let's see. What is facing up here? Well, that's very interesting. I think perhaps this card wants to be seen. This is the card of ancestral healing, and it features the Tree of Life, which is a symbol and an imagery that I am quite drawn to. Let's see what Rebecca Campbell has to say about ancestral healing. Ancestral healing is on page 62, 6 and 2, making 8. It is in the activation suit. I have noted that one of the transits of interest right now affecting us is a transit of Chiron, the wounded healer. During these times, so much is coming up for healing. We're discovering how hurt can be passed down from cell to cell through the generations. That's also known as epigenetic changes and has been scientifically documented. Our ancestors are the reason we're here, and without them, our soul wouldn't be in human form. From them, we may inherit many gifts, as well as patterns of conditioning and trauma that we long to be freed from. Many of these patterns are coming to the surface now in order to be processed and healed. Sometimes those who came before you weren't able to understand, let alone process, what has thus far gone unhealed. Sometimes it takes a courageous soul with an open heart, when the conditions are just right, to feel in order to heal, to process, in order to free themselves. This card is an acknowledgement, a nod toward the work you're doing as a circuit breaker in your family system and in the collective. You're being acknowledged for the part you're playing in the healing of humanity through healing yourself and being with what is. You're being acknowledged for the part you play in healing your ancestral line and the collective too. Maybe you're in the midst of deep ancestral healing, or perhaps you're finding your way back to the surface, having journeyed to the depths of the line you came into. Try your best to honor the gifts of that line as well as the difficulties. In doing so, you not only set your ancestors free, but you galvanize that energy and transform it into strength and support. The inner temple activation for this card: I honor my ancestors for the life that they gave me, and I set myself and them free. That is certainly a worthy subject to contemplate and reflect on, I think. And now, let's have an oracle card from Wendy Andrews, Goddess Love Oracle. We are having snow again where I am today. It's very light and floaty and not expected to be much accumulation, but it's pretty to look at as I sit here looking out the window. And our oracle card today is Journey. Number 16, which reduces to number 7. Number 7 is a number of mysticism and contemplation as well, so we continue with that theme. Let's see what Wendy has to say about the journey. Here is the text if you want to stop the video and read it. Excuse me. Number 16, Journey. Your life is a sacred gift. Goddess is here for you to tell you that all is well. You do not need to worry or stress that you are not on the right path or that you are not as far along as you think you should be. Let go of your uncertainty and fear about what you should be doing with your life. All this will dissolve with a shift in your consciousness. And with the transits we're about to experience, it looks like we may be shifting consciousness considerably. Realize that life is a journey of discovery of yourself and of the world. There is nowhere to get to but right here and right now. Treat each moment as though my pages are being uncooperative here. It is the most precious gift, as indeed it is, or your life is a sacred gift. Instead of looking outside for a destination, journey deeper within yourself. Let go of tirelessly searching for the right way, the noble way, as if some narrow and winding trail will lead you to a higher realm, if you could only find it and be worthy of walking its path. Clear your vision and realize that your way is the right way, and because you are at this place at this moment in time, it is the perfect place for you to be. Goddess witnesses your journey, for she is the divine within you that has brought you to this moment. She sees and loves you as you are, right now. You are your journey, moment by moment, breath by breath. Stop looking for your path outside of you, because you are the path. I go back to Ram Dass, who wrote a book with this title, but always I can hear him say, "Be here now." That's the only place you can be. And now, let's have a talisman oracle card. Our talisman oracle card today is Magical Power. Well, that's exciting, isn't it? These cards, of course, are embedded with sacred geometry to trigger your mind into thinking about whatever it is you need to think about. And we have a beautiful dragonfly here. Let's see what magical power has to tell us. Here is the text, and here is the sacred geometry. There is the rest of the text. In a reading, we are born with a special gift of magic. So perhaps when the journey card says your life is a sacred gift, perhaps your gift from your ancestors is your magic. We often overlook this extraordinary power to bring happiness to those around us or into our own hearts. In the center of it all is a very powerful emotion, love. By setting up our intent, we can create a new world. Believing in ourselves begins with loving and being kind to who we are. Understanding our limits and pushing just a little further to better ourselves. In these ways, we become closer to fulfilling our purpose in life. The dragonflies start their life as larvae in the water and later rise up into the air and fly. That reminds me of how we have been talking about how we were in earth and water signs, and now we are advancing to air and fire signs. They are our connection with nature and our guides to the realm of magic. The talisman power of this card: use this card to strengthen your intent or awaken your magical gift. You can use the magical power card with any other card to enhance the potential of its meaning. Focus on the magical hexagram and the powerful energy that spreads on the card. Feel the change of life feeding your ability. The dragonfly lifts itself into the air and flies away. Follow the winged messenger. Do you remember how we were just speaking of the Knight of Cups and the wings of Mercury, the winged messenger? The synchronicity is astonishing. Your affirmation for this card is, the magic is me. The magic is you. You are here now. Your life is a sacred gift and your magical power. Let's have a significator card from the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Our significator card today, I mentioned him yesterday. This is the Knight of Swords appearing in the reversed position. The Knight of Swords is the fastest knight in the deck. And look how he is charging in at high speed, unlike the leisurely pace of the Knight of Cups or the firm stance of the Knight of Pentacles. Now, swords, of course, are the air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, and have to do with intellect and communication. Knights as court cards in terms of their expression of the nature of the signs of the cards and their roles therein. Knights are of service. He has come to us today to be of service, but he has come in the reversed position, which means he may not be in such a hurry. And that seems more in keeping with our encouragement to reflect and contemplate, perhaps also as a caution against being in too much of a hurry right now. And on the base of the deck, perhaps this is why we are receiving some caution, we have the Devil card. The Devil card is a major arcana card, number 15, which reduces to 6, the number of balance and harmony. But the Devil card, in fact, is thought to be representative of obsession, of bondage, of feeling chained and restricted. It is associated with the sign of Scorpio. It is important to notice, though, that the chains on these people beneath the Devil are loose and could be easily released. And what I would say is, in clarification of the Knight of Swords, obsession and bondage might also have to do with any tendency to rush in to situations. Might lead us to think about, as we go through these transits and major changes, what do we need to release? And I have looked at the bottom of the deck, and I also see the Three of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles are the earth signs. That would be Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, and are considered to have to do with material possessions, money, our bodies, and our health. And it is an interesting contrast with the Devil card because these people do appear to be working on perhaps a church, and this character here looks like he might be a monk. This card is considered to be a card of collaboration and coordination and planning and execution. So how might that fit in with slowing down, not rushing in, and looking at our bondages and our obsessions? It's an interesting combination of cards. Now let's see if we can get some clarification from the Unfolding Path Tarot. Our first clarifying card is the Seven of Swords. It's an interesting card to get with the Devil and the Three of Pentacles. And the reason why I say that, swords again are air signs, and they have to do with thinking and communication and clarity and truth. But this character is obviously up to something. He has secured a number of swords and is sneaking off with them. And so this card traditionally is thought to represent possibly deception or even theft. However, on the other side of that, it is also thought to represent strategy and planning. That is, gaining some sort of an advantage. Certainly, if you have an enemy, if you steal a lot of his swords, then he is less equipped to harass you in any way. Something to think about, and certainly when we were talking about planning and collaboration and cooperation here, bondage and obsession, and slowing our roll with the Knight of Swords, something to think about. And the reverse of the deck, we have the Strength card, which is presenting in the reverse of the deck. The Strength card is another major arcana card. Notice the infinity symbol over the lion's head. And presenting in the reverse, it might suggest that your strengths are somewhat limited. Perhaps that requires more strategy and planning. And I looked, and from our last reading, once again, we received the Page of Swords. Such a joyful character. I love the hummingbirds flying over her head. Pages are indicative of youth, novelty. Sword signs, again, intellect, communication, truth, clarity. And in the case of the Page of Swords, new information or news. Perhaps we have news coming that has something to do with these situations. Something to think about. And our last reading, we got Gifu. And let's just give these a shuffle and see what we get for our rune today. Our rune for today is Rado. Rado is the rune of journey. Isn't that interesting, considering we got the card of journey? Upright it signifies movement and knowledge. But reversed, we have a lack of rhythm or a failed journey. One wonders again if this does not correlate with the Knight of Swords, with the Devil, with the Seven of Swords, the lack of strength. All in all, an interesting finding. Now let's have a hexagram card from the I Ching, the Book of Changes. Our hexagram for today is number 57. Let's see what the excellent Benebell Wind has to say about hexagram number 57. Hexagram number 57 is Jun. Use gentle force. And the oracle is, the power you exert must be a gentle force. The wind is powerful because time is its power. The wind uses time to accomplish all endeavors. So you too, like the wind, must use time to accomplish your endeavor. Be the unseen influence. The magus casts a spell that will produce an unseen influence. Whether the warrior advances or retreats, both decisions will bode well so long as the decision is made with conviction. One must delve below the surface, perhaps into the unconscious mind, to understand the situation at hand. Do not change paths time and time again. Open your heart-mind to heaven. You'll be led to the right course of action. Take that path step by step, the same path time and time again. The wind is favorable. Small gains to be had. And down here it says, follow the order that has been predestined. The sage is given a decree. Submit to the direction of the winds. A favorable wind, there are small gains to be had. A journey will be auspicious. Go forth to see the eminent one. That seems like some wise advice from the Book of Changes. Refers to the magus. You have the magical power. Refers to a journey. This says a journey will be auspicious. Go forth to see the eminent one. This talks about gentle force. When we are not strong, we must be gentle. We must be strategic. Thank you for tuning in to Nana's Tarot and Oracles today. You make Nana's day. Nana loves you and hopes you leave a question or a comment below. Select the like button, subscribe, and select all notifications. It's free. See you soon in peace and love.